before I say anything else, I must say congratulations to Gervonta Davis. He is a special fighter. Last night, he crushed a legit 140-pounder in his debut fight, who was big, who was strong, who can punch, who was fast, who was a thinker. He can box, he can move on his feet. Tank Davis used his IQ in the later rounds to secure the victory. And early on in this fight, I could sense that Tank was worried about Barrios' power, but Barrios really didn't have the IQ level of a Gervonta Davis, and it was apparent in this fight. And although Barrios was more active than Tank in the first 4 rounds, he wasn't as accurate. What really won him the first 4 rounds was his activity level. I believe Marrio Barrios threw 100 more punches than Gervonta Tank Davis, but Tank Davis was able to land an identical amount of punches to Marrio Barrios, which was also something that I really was impressed by. And it's obvious Tank Davis threw more power punches than Marrio Barrios as well. When Tank started to land the straight left down the middle is where he started to get his confidence, because in the beginning of the fight, I do not believe he was confident, and I believe he was scared to engage with Marrio Barrios. From the beginning of the fight, we can see that Marrio Barrios was using great fundamentals. He kept the jab out there throughout the entire fight. He was using great feints, and I believe that he was really following a good game plan. But when Tank started to warm up, his accuracy became even better as the rounds progressed. And in the 8th round, Tank threw a brilliant right hook where a lot of people thought he was going to throw the jab, but he leaped in with the right hook and dropped Marrio Barrios. And even at that point, when Tank dropped him the first time in the 8th round, the fight was not in Tank's favor. He was losing by far. But then he would drop him again in that same round after just dropping him with the right hook, making that round a 10-7 round, and I believe it made the fight a little bit more closer. But Barrios in the 8th round was able to withstand the onslaught by Tank Davis, and in the next round he stuck with his game plan and once again came out with the jab, trying to set up his big right hand, which I think he was missing all night. He couldn't really find Tank with the right hand, and like I said before, he just wasn't as accurate as I think he could have been. And he most definitely had Tank's respect prior to the knockdowns. But there was a lot of things in this fight that I did not like, and that is coming from both fighters. And with Marrio Barrios, I believe he was really reluctant to pursue Gervonta Davis. I think Gervonta Davis, at times, he was gassed, and also he had his back against the ropes a lot of the time in this fight. I believe Marrio Barrios played it a little bit too safe, and I know that sounds crazy to say, even though when he was playing it safe, he got caught. But I believe he was just too reluctant to pursue Gervonta Davis, even when Gervonta Davis had his back against the ropes, and he even hurt Gervonta Davis in the 9th round. But Gervonta Davis played it off really well as if he wasn't hurt, but he was definitely hurt for a split second. But Marrio, even at that point, didn't want to take any chances after being caught in the previous round. And I think Marrio definitely won the 9th round. And I believe the 10th round was a swing round. It really could have went either way, but I believe Tank Davis won that round. And in the 11th round, Barrios kept up the pace. He was more active than Gervonta Davis in the 11th round, but he got caught with the left uppercut to the body in an exchange. And after that, Tank Davis closed the show with a big left hand, and the refs stopped the fight. But what I didn't like about Gervonta Tank Davis in this fight is for the first 5 rounds, he did basically nothing. He let Marrio Barrios bag the first 5 rounds, in my opinion, because of the activity level of Marrio Barrios. And even Floyd Mayweather in one of the later rounds expressed to Gervonta Davis that he was down on the unofficial scorecard and he has to do a little bit more to win the fight, to which Gervonta Davis woke up. And I think we've seen this too many times with Gervonta Davis. He constantly loses back-to-back rounds and tries to come back in the second half of the fight, to which I really don't think he has a great gas tank. He explodes in spurts. In spurts, he will fight like he will take rounds off. I don't really think that's a good game plan going forward, especially as the competition gets better if he chooses to fight the top guys at 140. But there isn't anybody that Tank Davis cannot hang with at 140. He just proved last night that he has what it takes to be a top guy at 140 pounds. But there's also a lot of things that he has to work on. And there were a lot of questions about if Tank's power would translate to 140. I don't think there should be any more questions about that. If this guy moves up to 147, he has the power to knock out anybody. The power of Gervonta Davis is real and it is special. But Marrio Barrios, man, I was really high on him winning this fight. I really wanted him to prove himself that he is not the weak link at 140. He, to me, is a tremendous fighter, but it just wasn't his night last night. Marrio, leading up to this fight, was definitely somebody that I enjoyed watching. He is definitely one of my favorite fighters now, and I really enjoy his persona, his character. The El Azteca thing, I think that's really brilliant. I think that that's really cool. I like what he came out in. I just like that he was oozing his heritage and really representing his heritage, and he showed tremendous heart backing up his heritage last night. And for those of you who want to discredit the win of Gervonta Davis by saying Marrio Barrios wasn't even a real champion at 140, he was the regular champion at 140, and he isn't on the level of the other guys at 140, which I agree, but he is a top guy at 140, and Tank Davis had trouble with him despite getting the knockout. And all those hating people saying those things were not saying those things in the first 5 rounds, where I clearly thought Barrios was winning the fight. And salute to H Money. Like I said on his live last night, whoever won this fight wasn't going to get the credit that they deserved. There was going to be some type of discrediting going on, and it was going to be with Barrios or Tank. So it was a win-win, lose-lose situation for anybody who walked out of this fight the victor. And Tank Davis definitely has my respect and my credit for this big win. I think this is a great win on his resume. And despite him being the favorite in this fight, it was apparent that Barrios' length, strength, size, and speed was definitely giving Tank Davis a run for his money. But Tank Davis was able to weather the storm. And I'm eager to see who he chooses to fight next. I would hope it is the best guy at 140 pounds, and that is Josh Taylor, who is undisputed, who I think Tank Davis will have tremendous issues with. But Tank Davis has the talent, like I said, to hang with any guy at 140, but it will not be an easy task for him, and there's a high chance he can lose, and there's also a high chance he can win. But if you want me to be honest, I think Tank Davis should go back down to 135 and try to get a fight with Vasily Lomachenko, who looked absolutely phenomenal in his comeback fight after losing to Teofimo Lopez. He was the only person to stop Nakatani, who Nakatani is known to be a tough competitor who doesn't quit, and gave Teofimo the toughest fight of his career. And Lomachenko, like Gervonta Davis, was in a situation where physically he was outmatched, but his skill is what won him the fight ultimately. And Nakatani is a guy who had length, speed, power, and height, and it just didn't win him the fight. Skills paid the bills in this fight for Lomachenko. And I will be doing a review of this fight as well, so please stay tuned for that. But the likelihood of Tank Davis versus Lomachenko next is not high, because Teofimo's father stated that Loma really impressed him, and he will be getting a rematch against his son. So, you know, I'm really looking forward to seeing the rematch between those two guys. But in the comment section, you guys let me know what you thought of the fight between Marrio Barrios and Gervonta Davis last night. And with that said, that's pretty much it. Leave a like, make sure you subscribe, follow me on my social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And thank you for watching.